I beat Breath of the Wild, but for every enemy I killed, I had to add something to the HUD. In the Great Plateau, you don't even need to kill any enemies, so all I had to worry about here was my face cam. I went on my way to the first Divine Beast, and while traveling, I fell to my death. I decided to add something to the HUD anyway and looked at Twitch. The most viewed game on there was GTA 5, so I added the minimap from there and overlaid it across my own map. This would have been a little harsh, so I lowered the opacity just a little so I could see through. The first beast I would do is Vah Medoh, so I finished traveling there, not without a few mistakes though. Before I started the quest, I decided to get something out of the way first. A weapon. The Master Sword was the clear choice, so I did the glitch to get it and was on my way. I can't lie though, I suck at this game. Like, I'll just be dying to air. I was ashamed and decided to add another thing to the HUD. I was gonna make this one bad, hurtful, diabolical even. So I put the Valorant map in. By the way, I don't have to add the HUD when I die, I just decided to since I haven't killed any enemies yet. I entered the beast and came across this man right here. His only goal was to just ruin my life, no matter what. And no matter how much I wanted to smack him with this sword, I didn't. It would have been fine if I knew how to do this beast, but I'm bad, so it took me about another hour to do this. I had another stupid death, so I decided the game I chose this time should also be stupid. League of Legends. I arrived at Water Blight, and the HUD was starting to annoy me. All 4 corners were blocked off, so some attacks were hard to see coming. Also, I don't know who made this boss, but I don't think Flurry Rush is supposed to work this way. I was able to beat this though, and is now finally done with the first Divine Beast. I always liked Persona's HUD, so I added that, and now it was starting to get bad. From here, I was pretty torn up on my next Divine Beast. On one hand, if I were to do Vah Medoh, I would get Rivali's Scale, which I would absolutely love for Vah Naboris. I know this isn't a big deal, but at the time, it seemed important. On the other hand though, my HUD would be much worse, so I wasn't trying to make it any harder than it needed to be. But I remember that Vah Medoh only required you to beat 1 enemy, so I went to Rito Village and started the quest. Also, by the way, I don't do Vah Urdania. Fireblight's easy to do later, and this quest is hell annoying. I found myself struggling in the frigid depths of the Divine Beast. My lack of cold resistance was proving to be a fatal flaw, and as I kept succumbing to the harsh conditions, there was only one solution. Sadly, my pockets were feeling a bit light as I counted my rupees. I hadn't killed many enemies to get their loot and sell. Also, I didn't have too many expensive stones, so I was trivialized on what to do. I knew I would need a lot of money to buy the outfit for Vah Naboris too, so I learned a glitch for unlimited rupees. I got about 5,000 here, so I was feeling pretty satisfied after. All I did was flip over an already dead guardian and move in somewhere until it spawned unlimited drops that I could sell. I bought the outfit, but still wasn't properly equipped for the beast just yet. I needed to defend myself. My first idea was of course the Hylian shield. That would last me the rest of the game, but I would also have to kill a Stalnox to get it. I decided it was a worthy trade and added the Elden Ring HUD to my collection. But now that I was done with my preparations, I was able to head to Windblight, and it was getting hard. I had a lot of trouble trying to predict attacks, and when Windblight was up in the air like this, it was hard to see him at all, which left me open to all of the attacks. But I utilized bows and took the fight slow, eventually getting me the win. For the next HUD upgrade, I wanted to choose one of the games of all time. Fortnite. And now, we were on to the final beast, Vah Naboris. After buying the outfit from this man, I was tasked with retrieving the Thunder Helm from the Yiga hideout. This as a whole was fine, but it meant I had to beat Master Koga. Now, some may argue that he falls to his death, and you're not actually killing him, but in my opinion, it still counts. Here, I added the Minecraft HUD, and by now, even the middle of the screen was completely filled. I was having trouble seeing anything, walking, gliding, and that didn't help when I had enemies near me that I couldn't even kill. But with all my gear in tow, I approached the entrance of the Divine Beast. The pesky little eye creatures were a nuisance, summoning waves of enemies every time I tried to make progress. Undeterred, I pressed on until I encountered a roadblock. The gates wouldn't budge without defeating the enemies first. This presented a dilemma. Defeating them would clutter my HUD, but I was eager to face Thunderblight Ganon for reasons I would soon reveal. I decided it was too big of a risk to not just finish this, so eventually I took the plunge and eliminated these enemies, adding the health bar from Mario Odyssey and the map from CSGO to my already cluttered HUD. At this point, there was no one spot on the map that I could focus on, meaning I would just have to look for every crevice I could find to complete this beast. This made the terminals much harder, but as always, I got through and emerged at Thunderblight. First phase is always pretty easy. I might get hit once, but it doesn't deal enough to kill me and waste Mipha's grace. But second phase, where you raise this thing up with Magnesis, always sucks. I also barely be able to see the metal thing, or Thunderblight for that matter, so pretty much every time, I would use up Mipha's grace, but I couldn't expect to survive the rest of the fight. Thunderblight's attacks get much more powerful, and the timing on them changes. One backflip doesn't cause the attack to end, unlike at the beginning, so without seeing this, it would cause my downfall, especially when I got scared and dropped my Hylian shield. This left me with 2 options: continue trying until I win, or leave and try to find a new strategy. At the time, the choice to me was clear: leave. I started by cooking up some food, but it just wasn't giving me the results I wanted. I didn't want to heal and then just get one shot anyway. I needed something close to Mipha's Grace, in the sense that you can die and you still get revived. Temporary heart food would be a good solution, but I would never know when to use it because I can't see my HP. But then I remembered about Great Fairy Fountain, just to the right of Kakariko Village, so I picked up a couple fairies there, which revive you when you die, just like Mipha's Grace. So when I returned to this fight, all prepared with my food and fairies, guess what happened? I beat it without them. Not a waste of time though, since I still had Calamity to beat. I decided to add the Hollow Knight HUD to my collection. All I had to do from here was just buy some arrows and head over to Hyrule Castle. But because I didn't do Vah Rudania, Fireblight was still right in here waiting to see me. And this is where things get complicated. Say I beat Fireblight and add something to the HUD, but then die at Calamity. I would have to redo Fireblight, causing me to keep adding things, and it would go on however long, each death making it worse. And this is why I wanted to do Thunderblight at the beast. This made it important that I did it in one take. And Fireblight was going well, and I got him down this much, until I took a stupid hit and wasted Mipha's Grace. I still wasn't too worried though, because I did have 2 fairies left, but heading into Calamity, I added the Terraria HUD to my screen. And now finally onto Ganon. I took many close calls, had many points where I thought I lost it all, but got through without using one single fairy. And I ain't even gonna mention Dark Beast. So that's the video, and while this was hard, I wasn't even allowed to deal damage, let alone kill in this video, where I beat Pokemon Platinum without attacking.